Oh, wow. Didn't realize that my mic was unmuted.
They know everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just checking something right out real quick. Okay. So I know the mic is working. Alright. Well, what's going on, everyone? Joster Plays here, and welcome to Legacy of Kain Defiance. The last official Legacy of Kain game that was released. How's it going, Alex? And I'm sure if we got a brand new Legacy of Kain game, I'm sure it would have been nice. But hey, these remasters have been nice, and that's good, Alex. And, like, definitely a remaster, a remake of Blood Omen 2 would have been nice as well, but yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. It has been, like, quite the story so far with Legacy of Kain. Start off as an arrogant noble who becomes a vampire ruler, and then we follow one of his lieutenants that he ended up betraying as he becomes a wraith. And then, plenty of time paradoxes happened. And here we are. Like, admittedly, there are some things about Legacy of Kain that have just gone over my head, but hey, I'm just happy to experience this. But yeah, Legacy of Kain Defiance, it's the one I've actually made some progress in, relatively speaking. Like, I've only really made it through, like, the first few chapters, because, like, at the time it was a rental. And yeah. Other than that, though, I think it's time we finally wrapped up the Legacy of Kain. As it stands, anyway. Here. The headphones on. You wonder if we'll get, like, over 30 viewers this time around? Probably won't happen, but hey, who knows?
Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do?
Oh yeah.
But does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars.
Nice.
And so I returned to the sanctuary of my enemy, the fortress of the Sarafan Brotherhood, deemed impossible for any man to penetrate.
Of course, I gotta do this.
Impossible for any man.
Hey.
Deep within these walls, my prey awaited. Mobius, the time streamer, deceiver and eternal gamester, using living beings as his pawns.
Ah, yeah.
In the end, we'd rooted out an entire nest of the thieves.
We had swept that area already.
Not well enough, but no matter. We purged every last one of that brood with fire, and their souls now rest.
Lord Mobius will be pleased.
It was time for Mobius to answer a few questions. I hoped for his sake to find him in a forthcoming mood.
Attack!
Combat that doesn't suck! Thank you, Defiance! The only things about these games that should suck are the vampires and the wraiths. How's it going, media? I mean, like, I don't hate Blood Omen 2, but good god, the combat and the puzzles were just clunky as all hell. I'm tired, boss. Shit, man. Yes. Ah, yeah. Oh. And why couldn't I do that in Blood Omen 2? Probably because Amy Hennig wasn't involved.
Help me! Help me! Oh, please, no.
From time to time, it is necessary to feed. And
But
the
yeah, mate,
unusual event
yeah.
of a feast prepared by the Sarafan must be savored.
But yeah, media. I believe you already told me that Bear from Obsession was coming to a fan expo. Yeah, real talk. Please help me, kind sir. Okay. Voice crack. Ah, yeah. Wait, like, yeah, this is what happens when you let Amy Hennig direct the Legacy of Kain game. Yeah. What about Elizabeth, huh? Oh yeah. Tommy Wiseau's Vampire in Alcatraz. Yeah, she did the first two Soul Reaver games. And I believe too, like, she also had some involvement in the first Blood Omen game.
What was that?
Yeah, like, she wrote Defiance as well. Yeah.
The touch of water is like acid to a vampire. I had to find another way to pass.
Yeah, that way. Empty. Oh, jeez. I was about to say something super cringy. Yeah. I mean, like, they bathe in blood, to be fair, I bet. Yeah, Elizabeth Bathory. Shit.
This passage undoubtedly led to the time streamer. My prey was nearly in my grasp. But the door had been sealed by a blessed barrier. As I approached, the Reaver resonated in response. Perhaps its dark sorcery could dispel these holy barriers.
But you know what? No, Media, I have a better question. Why was Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, The Dead Shall Rise, and Legacy of Kain Ascendance accepted somewhat in the canon? As official. Oh, no. Ooh. Very nice. And a map. Yeah. Like, I know there was this game called Nosgoth. That could be what you're referring to. Right.
Locked. What a love of doors these pathetic humans have.
I'll say. So we call a vampire keg.
Vampire!
Ow. Discord on my phone too. Billy Kitty. Of course.
This emblem was unmistakably of vampire origin and designed to
okay.
enhance the Reaver's power. But this coincidence seemed too convenient. Mobius clearly meant for me to find it.
Oh yeah.
Sound the alarm! Vampire! Don't let him escape!
Surround him! Surrender, fiend, and we will promise you an easy death.
I would like to do
I
fear.
could promise you the same, but it would be a lie.
Ve Victus!
Throw them into one another. How about that? Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I kind of wanted to feed on them. Oh well. Alright.
This barrier had a curious resonating effect on the Reaver.
Yeah. Had to put the had to put the footrest on my chair away. I finally ordered a shelf for my movies and games too. Well, I'd like to thank you for letting me have my meal. Ooh. Damn.
This door had been equipped with a singular lock, requiring an unusual key. Somehow, I would find it.
Oh, yeah. Ah, shit, no. I'll have to look at it when I'm on break media. Sorry. Ah, dang it. Get up there, Kain. You're not in Blood Omen 2 anymore. Yeah. Rixie. Oh. Training room. What kind of a fool do they take me for? Oh yeah. I got you, media. Okay, like. Now, before I started the stream, I did play the training room and the options. Well. Alright, so L2 like switches, just pressing L2 like switches between fixed camera angles and over the shoulder. This way. Oh yeah. Two at once, baby. Ah, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Balance emblem. Balance emblem. Balance emblem.
Just like in the first Blood Omen. I have room. Nice. Alrighty. Oh, right. Yeah, I'm gonna need that blood. I have one. Alright, that's still gonna take a while.
Die, vampire!
Oh, you. Alright. There we go. Or I go right over there. Get another one of these. Ooh. That's my health upgraded.
Yes, I understand. It will be done. The stage is set. You needn't linger in the shadows, Kain. It has been a long time, hasn't it?
No banter, Mobius. You know why I'm here.
Yes, Raziel. You sought to introduce your own pawn into this game, and now he's been swept from the board.
By your hand, I suspect. Where is he?
Perhaps you should ask, when?
Oh, yeah.
How humiliating it must be for you to come begging at my doorstep for answers.
Enough wordplay.
Don't threaten me. Oof. You see, I have the upper hand. How remarkable that the great Kain should succumb to the scepter's power like any common vampire. Still so arrogant after all these years, thinking you've devised some brilliant plan. You know nothing. You have read the signs, but missed their meaning. You believe you are that myth of vampire prophecy, the scion of balance, and that Raziel holds the key to fulfilling your destiny. But But your messianic delusions have blinded you to Raziel's true nature. You have no idea what you've unleashed. There was a time when you might have heeded wise counsel when it was offered. Now, your vanity has made you witless. You will have to learn the truth for yourself. You'll be needing this.
Oh, why thank you.
Your strength will return after I have departed. But by then, you will have more urgent concerns than pursuing me. Perhaps, when we next meet, you will have learned a little humility.
Yeah, I don't think humility is Kain's forte.
These strange creatures seem to manifest from the very shadows. Mobius's attempt at stopping me was not one of his better efforts. When I found him, it would be my turn to offer a few surprises.
Oh. Time for our boy Raziel.
Surrender, Raziel. Abandon this petty rebellion. It was I who made you. Your life had played out, and in my grace, I spared you. You are my reaper of souls. You have no other purpose, no higher destiny. Just this. Accept your calling, Raziel. Let go of these vain hopes. Relinquish your will, and feed.
No.
What do you profit from this defiance?
Name drop.
Some grim satisfaction in infuriating you.
My patience is eternal, Raziel. How many eons can you bear to languish here? The wheel of fate must turn. All are redeemed in the cleansing agony of birth, death, and rebirth. This is the engine of life, the purifying rhythm of the universe, to which all souls are irresistibly drawn. Yours is a necessary and noble function, Raziel.
Enough of your sermonizing. Are you trying to bore me into submission? Why must this game go on? We both know what you are. You all know better than the vampires you so despise. A voracious parasite, cloaking its appetite in a shroud of righteousness. I refuse to do your will.
I can see into your heart, Raziel. It is not your will, but cowardice that keeps you here.
How so?
You know what fate awaits you when you leave the underworld. That phantom weapon you bear is a constant reminder, isn't it? The sword is waiting for you out there somewhere, and you tarry so as not to meet it.
I could not deny it. As long as I lingered here, defying my captor, I was able to postpone what I feared was my inevitable doom. To become the ravenous spirit imprisoned in the Reaver Blade. But that sentence was no worse than the stalemate I now endured. Better to face one's destiny than cower from it.
Harvester of souls, I created you. And to this function, my angel of death, you will return.
Enough. Yes, I submit.
Happy.
Very good. Indulge your hunger. Yes, embrace your calling, Raziel. you will find that just as defiance has its price, so obedience has its rewards.
And submission is not always what it seems.
Oh yeah.
Below me swirled an ominous-looking mist. I knew that if I fell, it would mean my peril.
Do you believe your worthiness is so easily proved? Your way is sealed until you have offered further evidence of your obedience.
I must feed you before I depart this place.
You must feed yourself, Raziel.
The wheel must turn.
Ah, now you understand.
Oh, totally.
You may go, but remember, you are mine. You can no more escape from me than you can escape yourself.
Sweet. All right, let's go.
You want this room cleared of its vermin.
If you wish to leave it,
It's also to get the players accustomed to your actions, Raziel.
you see, obedience brings prompt rewards.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going, little soul? You can't escape.
Watch me, bitch.
Raziel. Clever, Raziel. Clever indeed.
Get up there.
I've endured your game long enough.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh. Adios, motherfucker.
Clearly my escape had not been anticipated, or my benevolent master would not have expended such efforts to prevent me from going. And if my departure displeased him, then that was a victory, however small, for me.
What's up, Philly Kitty?
In the spectral realm, water is as thin as air, putting this opening far beyond my reach. But once I found my way into the physical world, I might be able to swim up there.
Oh, shit. There we go.
This door would only open when fitted with an appropriate artifact. But to use such an object, I would first have to find a way back into the material realm.
Trixie.
At last, I discovered a conduit into the material realm. I would finally escape the spirit world and take one step farther from my tormentor.
Did you think to receive the same favors after your rebellion as before? No, Raziel. I have no need for you to enter the physical world, so no conduit will be granted. You serve me adequately as a wraith, and a wraith you will remain.
So, my restraints had not been removed, only loosened. I would not be held prisoner in the spectral realm. There had to be another way.
There is no other way, Raziel. Of course.
As I emerged, I was granted a vision of what I would become if I did not escape the spectral realm. For these too were agents of my master, hunting the lost souls that struggled to escape the endless twilight of the underworld. My master's plan for me was ominously clear. Like these mindless hunters, I existed only to fuel him with souls, siphoning their energy to feed him and his wheel of fate. I had to break these bonds, while I still possessed my own will.
Oh, back to Kain.
This artifact seemed as though it was made for that unusual lock. Now the door could be opened.
Nice. What's up, Vargy? Hi, big guy. Okay, I see now. I don't get to that till later. Ouch, that hurt.
Malik, the great Seraphim warrior. I had met him before. His sword and shield seemed to have gone astray.
Let him bleed to death.
They victors!
Here's that good old cry.
Tell me, where can I find your master? Quickly, Mobius is...
In the tower.
good.
Eesh. Oh yeah. Right, nice. Bill. Meowser cat. Alrighty. Burn, baby, burn. Where was I? There we go. All right. Kain skin petty nobleman. I was wondering if I could be able to switch skins within the game. And puzzles, that's not just flipping switches. If I wanted to solve
Malik's
puzzles...
missing shield. I hated to restore his dignity, but I would need to return this to his monument before I could progress.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, if I wanted to do puzzles that just involve flipping switches to and fro, I would have just played Hexen and Heretic again. Sign back up for Game Pass and play Hexen and Heretic again. Oh, it was Heretic first and then Hexen. Yeah. Alright.
Get him!
Dang it. Let me feed, damn it. Now we're talking. Damn it. Ah, that's fun. Yes. Come and meet your end at the hands of Kain. Barg. What's up, big guy? Before I go through there. Alright, that's another one for the runes. Oh. Oh. Varg has just whined. Gotta go outside, buddy? Oh, I see that head tilting. Or you just want to bask in the air outside. Alright. But yep. I will be running Varg out. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny. What was a king to do? But does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars. Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do? But does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars. Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do? But does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars. Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do? Does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars.
Alrighty. Gave myself a quick ramen fix and some chocolate milk. I don't know why I said chocolate weirdly, but yeah. Alright. Okay, oh, excuse me. Already the milk's coming up. I do that. You will pay for that transgression. I'm out, please. And now, Mobius. Oh, whoops. I just had to go down there to kill him. When I get to you, Mobius, there will be no mistake of what is going to happen. I am going to come on you like no one has ever come on you before. No Vorador at your side, no Malik, no Elder Lord. Just you and me getting it on like two warriors should.
Malek's sword belonged in his right hand. However distasteful this errand was, I would return it to its proper place. The way to the tower now lay open before me. I looked forward to finding Mobius and resuming our conversation.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, that was close. And another one. Of course.
Dive!
Ooh, nice. God dang it. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Damn it, I keep forgetting. Shit, ah. The blade of this ornamental sword is dull and seemingly useless. Yet upon its hilt emblazoned an identical pair of swords. If I can locate this one's twin, I'd be able to open the few remaining paths close to me. How these pathetic Seraphim love their games. Damn you! Alright, you know what? Yeah. Yep, self-promo. Proof.
No cover system in this game what to speak of.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't put it into the games yet.
Listen, kid. I think you'd be more comfortable over at that place.
Weenie Hut Juniors!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Sorry.
What could
I was
be
actually
worse?
pointing to the place next to it.
Super Weenie Hut Juniors!
It insists upon itself,
Oh.
Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
What does that even mean?
Oh.
Because it has
a valid point to make. It's insistent!
I tell you what.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what game you're talking about there. I'll give a funny video. Ow! I am a compassionate one. Do it. Hey, where's he going? Pretty neat. Yeah. I love that. Ooh. Bumped right into me. Here we are. Alright, before I grab that, I want to check that out. Oh, yep. Yeah, baby. Give me that.
Curious. This artifact, joined with the relic I discovered earlier, appeared to be but one fragment of a larger emblem.
Oh, yeah.
This shard was endowed with elemental fire, enhancing both the Reaver and my telekinetic powers.
Ooh. Sweet. Don't interrupt my moves, you jerk. Get up. Yeah. Knock, knock.
Here you are at last. I see you found a fragment of the balance emblem. This will be of even further use to you, if you can find the other three. Now, shall we?
Yes. Let us continue our conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But on a somewhat different footing. Now, what do you have to tell me, Mobius?
You cannot kill me. We both know that this is not how or when I die.
Death is not the only possible outcome.
Oh, yeah.
Your delusions of fulfilling the vampire's foolish prophecies have badly distorted your judgment. And Raziel is not what you think.
You dare imagine what I think.
Oh, yeah.
So, you prevented Raziel's soul from entering the Reaver. Do you believe for a moment that by this you have averted your fate? Or his? Or that of Nosgoth itself? Your manipulations are pathetic.
Yet Raziel retains his free will, and that's what frightens you, isn't it, Mobius? You cannot see his path, and so you cannot control it.
And neither can you. Yes, Raziel is shrouded from us, but we see the ripples of his potential actions, and every path he might choose leads to the same outcome. He will kill you, Kain. In sparing Raziel, you have written your own death sentence.
You still have not answered the question I came to ask. Where is Raziel?
He is not, in a true sense, here. Not now.
Don't try my patience, Mobius. What have you done with him?
He is contained. In time, it may be safe to release him. His destiny must be completed. He will enter the sword. But until that time, he is dangerous. Far more dangerous than you could understand.
And your incontrovertible evidence?
The answers are plain, if you know where to look. Go west of the pillars. There you will find a testament, written in stone.
But stones, too, can lie.
Yeah.
The pillars of Nosgoth stood pristine against the horizon. To the west, I would find the enlightenment Mobius felt I lacked.
Ooh, bat flight. I remember I could do that in the first Blood Omen.
There had to be a way to escape the spirit world without the help my master was pleased to deny me. Only in the material realm would I have a chance to seek my destiny, or change it.
Rixie! Okay, right.
In this crypt, I discovered ethereal gases rising from the moldering corpse within. As I neared, I felt a distinct spiritual pull, and the closer I approached, the more that pull intensified. In the end, it was not difficult. I projected myself down into that tomb.
Oh yeah.
I found myself reborn into the material.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A loathsome vessel. But with an effort of will, that too could change.
Yeah, yeah. Damn it, Raziel.
These gargoyles quickened as I drew near, triggering the door to close. I would need to find some means of approaching the door without being observed.
Says she won't go near the place.
I tell you, the pillars are haunted.
Haunted?
I heard a woman's voice talking and moaning, and there was no one there.
How many vampires have you killed? And you can't face down one ghost?
I knew who these were. Vampire hunters, scouring the countryside, destroying what had once been my kind.
My God, what is that? A vampire or a demon?
Where?
Here.
Get him!
Quickly! No mercy.
You're not in this world, vampire.
Nice. Oh yeah. Excuse me a moment. All right.
These were Mobius's hunters, mercenaries enlisted in his crusade to exterminate the vampires. His insignia was unmistakable. But this meant I'd been captive in the underworld for centuries. I had lost 500 years. Then I knew what ghost it was that haunted the pillars. Ariel, the specter of the murdered Balance Guardian. Perhaps she could provide the answers I sought. But first I would have to find a way out of this cemetery. This temple's facade hinted at some ancient vampire origin, for it bore the sign of the Reaver and was marked with the elemental symbol of light. The mystery of the Reaver might be answered within, but this edifice was too high for me to reach. Hero, renegade, and traitor. What is this? How do you know me?
Raziel, what are you? Why should I know your name? You are nothing.
It seemed my method of entering
Your
the physical
sister
realm
is
was
better.
not altogether original. But where had these beings come from?
Varg. Whoa. Hello, Vargy. Hang on, buddy.
The Reaver did not seem to activate this orb.
Right, gotta get the
I had
darkness.
to find the means to enhance the blade further.
Oof. Yeah. Varg wants me to take him out again, so I'll be right back. Once again, don't go anywhere.
Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do? Does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars.
Ah, yeah. A nice warm one, nice and hot tonight. All right. Good. You know what? I haven't been using the Streamlabs remote controller app either. Force of habit. But anyway. Speaking of force of habit. Alright, I can swim. motion blur. Hey, Perpetente. Buddy. Ah. Pause. Hi, Perpetente. Crack, crack, crack. Pause, kitty. Welcome back, Razia.
This edifice, marked with the elemental light symbol, was clearly much older than the ruins in the rest of the cemetery. The door was far too high to reach, and to open it, it seemed the Reaver would need to be imbued with the power of darkness. Clearly, I had more to accomplish before I could discover what lay within.
Die, foul beast!
Oh, nice. Rexy just straight up refuses to stay off the railing. Was Pepe. Was Prepotente.
As I stepped through, I felt a sense of displacement, as some arcane sorcery transported me away. This was clearly some ancient ruin of a vampire civilization. Perhaps here I would finally decipher the riddle of my destiny. Throughout these ruins, I found murals depicting the seminal events of vampire history. These scenes commemorated a great war between the ancient vampires and their rivals. In triumph, they banished their adversaries from the world and raised the pillars as the lock that binds them. The image of the Reaver was inscribed throughout this place, always depicted with reverence. The vampire's holy weapon was destined to be borne by their prophesied hero, for whom it was forged. But if this was my destiny, why had the Reaver tried to consume me?
Yeah. Oh, my father was calling me.
This scene depicted the appointment of the original vampire guardians, each summoned to serve when the pillars were raised. Each guardian is aligned to the principle of the pillar he serves, and the balance guardian is the axis of them all. At last it was done. The Reaver was forged with darkness. As I felt this new power coursing within the Wraithblade, I knew that now the Light Temple would open to me.
Ah, hell. Yeah, I fucked up. Because I went the all because I went the wrong way too. Now I really fucked up. I thought that was where I was supposed to go. Fuck. Alright. Should have remembered I'd lose the dark power if I went to the spectral realm. Wait a minute. Oh! Shit. Fuck. First things first. Ente. Hold your paw.
At last I had the means to confound those gargoyles in the mausoleum and discover what lay behind that mysterious door.
Yeah. Stop using your claws, baby. Hey, stop it. There we go.
Against all odds, I had stumbled into Kain's own mausoleum.
Oh, lovely.
This seemed an unlikely coincidence.
Kain and the salad days. I was wondering if it would open anything else. Oh yeah. Oh, right, I can climb up there.
Again, I experienced that odd sense of displacement as I was transported to the vampire ruin once more. But this chamber was different than the first. In their defeat, the vampire's enemy retaliated with a terrible curse, afflicting the vampires with a bloodthirst that turned their once noble race into ravenous predators. This curse plunged the vampires into despair and apparently drove many to madness and self-annihilation. What was it that so devastated them that they were driven to suicide?
I can't believe they committed suicide. I cannot believe they committed suicide. How could they have done this? How could they have committed suicide? I can't Joster. I can't help them out of this one. After all we've been through, I can't help them out of this one. Damn.
I had succeeded. The Reaver was forged with the power of light, and now my way was clear. I would seek out Ariel at the pillars and see if she could enlighten me. Recharge here. I have the means now to depart the cemetery. I only needed to find the gate that would send me on my way.
See. The Lightsbringer. find 50 enemies? Shit. Takes care of them. Okay. Pretty sure I came from there before. Oh, okay.
An ancient gate, sealed by the powers of light and darkness, barred the way to the pillars beyond. To depart this place and continue my journey, I would have to find the means to open it. At last, the gate yielded to the powers of light and darkness, with which the Reaver had been forged. The way to the pillars was open.
That was easy. Into the mat painting.
How strange to see this place long before my birth. Centuries before the corruption set in that would poison the land and put me on the treacherous path I still followed. In the future, these edifices would be condemned to darkness and decay. I would cause their fall and build my empire upon their ruins. Was it still possible that with the right knowledge, the right moves, I might one day see Nosgoth restored, the pillars pure once more? My answer, according to Mobius, lay somewhere to the west of this place. I could restore the world, perhaps, but never again could I give Nosgoth back her innocence.
I want to go back and check on something. Ever notice how Nosgoth has gotten plenty of different looks throughout the games? Like ever since the very first Blood Omen?
Kain refused the sacrifice.
Oh, shit. On the map of Nosgoth. Oh yeah.
Give
Plus, I should refresh my history on history of Nosgoth. History on the history. In the centuries before Kain's birth, the land was protected by an oligarchy of sorcerers known as the Circle of Nine. These guardians were sworn to serve and protect the pillars of Nosgoth, the ancient edifice towering over the earth as a manifestation of the mysterious power that preserved and gave life to the land. But the circle was infiltrated by dark forces, and Ariel, the Balance Guardian, was cruelly murdered. Her assassination sent psychic shockwaves throughout the circle, and in their derangement, the remaining sorcerers turned their powers to dark purposes, poisoning the land with their sorcery and abandoning the pillars to stand like silent, decaying sentries. Into this dying world, Kain was born. The son of an aristocratic Nosgoth family, he lived the privileged life of a nobleman, never realizing his undiscovered destiny. That he was marked from birth as Ariel's successor, fated to take her place as the Guardian of Power. Trixie! Ignorant of his destiny, the ambitious but directionless Kain roamed the land. During one fateful journey, he was ambushed by brigands and murdered, cruelly impaled on his assassin's sword. Plucked from the brink of oblivion by the necromancer Martanius, Kain awakened in the underworld, still transfixed by his enemy's blade. Tormented by his hunger for vengeance, and heedless of the spiritual cost, Kain recklessly accepted the necromancer's offer of revenge, and rose from his tomb to discover that he had been resurrected as a vampire. Kain quickly tracked down his assassins and exacted his bloody revenge. With his vengeance and hunger sated, he sought only a cure for the vampire curse that afflicted him. Guided by Mortanius and the spectre Ariel, now bound helplessly to the decaying pillars she once served, Kain hunted down each of the corrupt sorcerers, now poisoning Nosgoth. Only with their deaths could the pillars be healed, and only by restoring balance would Kain be released from his vampiric curse. At first reluctant to live the horror of an existence blighted by a thirst for human blood, Kain soon adapted and discovered, within his darkened soul, a growing disaffection for humankind as he embraced his newfound immortality. And that'll do it. During his journey, Kain discovered and claimed the Soul Reaver, an ancient soul-devouring blade, and stumbled across, not so coincidentally, a time-streaming device created by Mobius, the Guardian of Time. Against the council of the ancient vampire Volador, Kain found himself embroiled in human events, caught in a bloody battle between Otmar's Army of Hope and the ruthlessly advancing armies of the Nemesis from the north. As the tide of the battle turned, Kain used his only means of escape, the time-streaming device, which swept him nearly 50 years back into Nosgoth's past. Hoping to alter the course of Nosgoth's history, Kain assassinated the young King William, the Just, who would become the diabolical tyrant known as the Nemesis. After sating himself on his victim's blood, Kain returned to the present, only to discover that his murder of the beloved king had ignited a genocidal war against vampires, led by the time streamer Mobius himself. Upon his return, Kain witnessed the future that he had wrought, and the final triumphant act of Mobius's cold-blooded mob. Vorador, the last of the era's vampires, was guillotined and his head held aloft for a cheering, bloodthirsty crowd, leaving Kain the sole surviving vampire in Nosgoth. As his quest brought him full circle, Kain confronted the destiny that Martanius and Ariel had hidden from him. That he was the Balance Guardian, and that only by sacrificing himself could he restore the pillars. And I think we know how that happened. I think we know what transpired after that. Ariel presented him with a final climactic decision. Sacrifice himself to heal the land, but ensure the extinction of the vampires, or refuse the sacrifice and seal the world's corruption. Well, as you can tell by the theme song here, Kain refused the sacrifice. Revolted by the machinations of the human sorcerers and alienated from his former humanity, Kain chose the latter path, opting to rule the world in its damnation, rather than commit himself to oblivion. This apocalyptic act completed the Pillar's destruction. The mighty columns toppled as Kain sealed their ruinous fate and damned Ariel to ceaselessly haunt the dilapidated pillars she once served. Until the balance is restored, she can never be released. Kain concluded with the epiphany that Vorador was right. That vampirism is not a curse, but a blessing. That vampires are dark gods whose duty it is to thin the human herd. With intentional irony, Kain established the Ruin Pillars as the symbolic seat of his new empire, and the unrestored Balance Pillar as the base of his throne. In an act of calculated blasphemy, Kain raided the ancient tomb of the Seraphan, a fanatical order of warrior priests once swore to eradicate the vampires plaguing Nosgoth. From the desiccated corpses of these long-dead knights, Kain raised his 6 vampiric sons to become the lieutenants of his fledgling empire. But the pillars, Kain ultimately realized, were more than just a human edifice. The health of the pillars was tied inextricably into the health of the land. With the pillars left unrestored, corruption seeped slowly into the land like a poison, turning his empire into an irredeemable wasteland. Rather than evolving slowly over time, vampires experience periods of accelerated metamorphosis, entering dormant states from which they emerge transformed. When Raziel, first among Kain's lieutenants, revealed his latest evolution, a pair of bat-like wings, Kain responded with an act of seemingly egotistical sadism. Tearing Raziel's newly fledged wings from his back, he ordered Raziel to be cast into the Lake of the Dead, where he would burn forever in the roiling abyss. Raziel tumbled endlessly into the murky depths, his flesh dissolving as he burned with white-hot fire. After an eternity of torment, Raziel's ruined body came to rest. And as the pain receded, he realized that he had not only survived the descent, but had been delivered to the very seat of the underworld. Like Kain before him, Raziel was saved from the brink of oblivion by a mysterious benefactor. A preternaturally ancient god dwelling in the depths of the abyss who transformed Raziel into a devourer of souls and released him back into the world to take his revenge. Raziel, now the Elder God's fledgling angel of death, resurfaced to discover that centuries had inexplicably passed since his execution. Kain's empire lay in ruin, and Raziel found himself assailed by the degenerate offspring of his former brethren, who had long since devolved into monstrous forms. Undeterred by these revelations, Raziel pursued Kain across Nosgoth's blasted landscape, galvanized by a hunger for revenge and a relentless new thirst. Not for the blood of humans, but for the vampire's apostate souls. Kain, however, had other plans for Raziel. By the Elder Gods! Oh, Varg. What? You gotta go outside, buddy? Alright. Alright. I'm gonna go on another break. When we get back, I'm gonna continue reading the rest of the history of Nosgoth. And then we'll call it for tonight. So, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do?
Ah, tricksy kitty. I put him on an actual cat bed, yet he goes back up on the railing. Or he's just gonna fall off again and again, but... oh well. Some things never change for that guy. But anyway, Kain, however, had other plans for Raziel. Seemingly unsurprised by Raziel's miraculous return, Kain baited Raziel along the course of his single-minded vendetta, channeling him into battle with his mutated brethren, and into a faithful confrontation at the Pillars, wherein Kain raised the Soul Reaver against Raziel. The ancient blade, believed to be indestructible, shattered when Kain attempted to strike Raziel down. The soul-devouring sentience captive in the blade was thus released, and, binding itself to Raziel as a wraith blade, became his symbiotic weapon. Kain seemed not stunned, but strangely satisfied with this shocking outcome, and lured Raziel further into Nosgoth's northern wastes, leading to their final confrontation in the Mobius's long-abandoned Chronoplast chamber. Driven by the fatalistic visions revealed by Mobius's devices, Kain activated the time-streaming portal that would propel him and Raziel centuries into Nosgoth's past. Free will, Kain feared, might only be an illusion, but he knew their fates were intertwined in ways that Raziel had not begun to fathom. Swept back into Nosgoth's early history, Raziel began to unearth the secrets of his past. How his coming was foretold by an ancient race, Nosgoth's original vampires, who forged the Reaver for their champion as the weapon of their salvation. How he himself slaughtered the Seraphan lieutenants and was his own murderer, and how he thus became the catalyst not only of Kain's future empire, but of his own dark destiny. And finally, how he was fated to become the ravenous spirit imprisoned in the Soul Reaver blade. That this was, and always had been, the hellish cycle of his destiny. The Wraithblade, he finally understood, was his own soul, twinned and bound eternally to him. His motive still a mystery, Kain sought to change history by preventing the blade from consuming Raziel's soul. But Raziel, nearly obliterated by the Reaver, realized that he could never escape this terrible destiny. Kain had merely postponed it. Ah, yeah. And wait. I'm pretty sure somewhere along those lines there was Raziel's sister. And something about Kain with working with Vorador with some like resistance group, but I suppose those aren't too important. But yeah. That is indeed going to do it for Legacy of Kain Defiance tonight. Ah, man. This was a pretty nice breath of fresh air after fucking Blood Omen 2. But yeah. I know, like, yeah, I may be harsh on Blood Omen 2, I mean, like, it's a game that has potential, but it's held back by some factors that just bog the experience. Because, goddamn, that game pissed me off way too much. But yeah. Now, of course, next Thursday will be more Defiance, but come Tuesday, you're gonna have to save the hardwood for Wednesday. Because come Tuesday, we are gonna be going back to Tomb Raider 3. And Wednesday will be Stellar Blade. So, you've got all that to look forward to and much more in the future. But, I want to thank y'all for coming to the stream tonight. If you like the content that I've been putting out, whether it be these live streams or the videos I occasionally make, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to. If you want to support my content financially, whether it be through Super Chats, Super Thanks, or donations during these streams, feel free to do so. But if you're broke, don't sweat it, just enjoy the show. Well, once again, thank y'all for coming to the stream. This is Joster Plays. sign off for tonight. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.